And going around YouTube, I started watching a couple other videos. I don't really wander out of my yard too much on YouTube, but I started seeing like stuff, people that started out calling themselves truthers from the 9/11. Okay, now I can understand. I too believe the American government, the U.S. government, the Bush administration, kept a lot from us about what actually was going on 9/11. But I could see, because it happened on their watch, and they're trying to like, it wasn't our fault. But even though they weren't paying attention to the intelligence that was coming in, I don't want to go back over that. But Condoleezza Rice, you know, and the whole, oh, we didn't know that you could use a plane as a bomb, but there was all kinds of like warnings about such a tactic. And even been tried before, but the plane was too small. And so these truthers, now they're moving on and using the same kind of fringe logic about the Gulf spill. There's people that think that it's I want to compare it to the commie plot. I don't know if you ever saw Dr. Strangelove and how I stopped worrying and learned to love the bomb or something like that. There was a character in that movie, was this really hardcore, you know, military man, general or something, colonel, and the guy like loses his mind because he's obsessed with the communists. He thinks that, you know, the water fluoridation and all that stuff, you know, was all a commie plot. And so that sort of mindset has never really went away. And it's sort of like ebbs and tides. It goes up and down. For a while, it just got kind of quiet, that sort of talk. Only the really, really crazies talk that way. But there's people that are saying that the Gulf spill was a commie plot, and not exactly, I want to say, what it really they're talking about is a green plot. But to many right-wing extremists and libertarians, they put green and commie are interchangeable. And so they're saying that it's a environmentalist, tree-hugging green plot to make Americans hate oil. And I mean, where are these people? They really, really have to bend over backwards to come up with, to make the theories fit. I don't see it. I really, really don't. I think it's just, you know, oil companies, it's very, like, what is that, Occam's razor or something like that? You know, the most obvious explanation is usually the right one. And it's big corporations cutting corners, trying to make a profit. And they missed out on some safety things. It's coming out more and more about the incompetence about them. Like on a contingency plan, they had a number to call some expert, but this guy's been dead for 5 years. And just to say that BP is the only company it would happen to is wrong, because all the major companies, Conoco, Exxon, et cetera, on down the line, all have the same contingency plan. Pretty much, cookie cutter. And for some of the people that said, oh, they had enough law preventers that they couldn't fail, come on. There's always human error. There might have been the inspector was having a bad day that day, or they hadn't kept up the maintenance. And it shows that the inspections, the U.S. government's at fault for this too, that they weren't cracking down on these people. But did you know the segment of government, and this is happening during the Bush administration, that's in charge of monitoring the oil companies, we're going out and getting free hookers and drugs and stuff, and having sex parties, all paid for by the oil companies. Look into it. It happened. So I don't think this stuff has been going on under Obama, but it did happen under Bush. And I have to fault Obama for not going in there and undoing the deregulation that Bush did. But like I said on another Fez Night, I think he had a lot on his plate. And I think that's about it. I don't have any science news for you. Now, there was one thing that was kind of interesting, and I thought they would have figured this out before, but I guess they had better like 3D microscope technology or something. Did you know that the colors on butterfly wings, specifically in this case they were investigating the color green, is not from pigment, but it's from refracting the light and reflecting it back. So a butterfly's wings, to put it in the most simple terms, are like little tiny prisms. pointed in a certain direction that captures sunlight or light and reflects it back and doesn't send back the full spectrum, just sends back green, in this case when they're investigating green. Now, I don't know if this applies to every color on a butterfly's wing, like perhaps the monarch, which is like an orange and black sort of color. That might be pigment. I don't know. I just know that there was a certain butterfly green section of their wings. Okay, that's it for another Fez Night. Part of me wants to take a break next week, but we'll see. All right. So, cheers, everybody. Thanks for watching the Fez Factor, and you all have a great week. Cheers.